lane. And that is one thing PandaS have for them. These are pretty bolstered lanes for them, right? The outer lanes are very strong. You've got the Rubik, the Centaur. Undying is definitely going to be the brawler of the first 5 minutes.
Rubik Centaur used to be one of the strongest lanes back when telekinesis lasted a bit longer, so you could lift up into the stun. I think it's still very powerful as you have these 4-man running down mid, most likely to cover Moon Meander as he's about to get those stacks under the tier 1. That's what's happening here, but you can see that there is a rotation by VP around 2. They want to prevent him from doing the same thing.
I said no shenanigans.
Yeah, Moon Meander has to be careful because
they
Save has boots. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. He didn't want to level the Avalanche. If he levels the Avalanche, you set up for a stun from Rezo, but then they just run away still.
No. The only play there is to toss him back.
Yes.
That's the only play. If you don't toss him, it's not worth it. But they did force him away, and he only has 1 retaliate stacks, and that's pretty much what they wanted to do in the first place.
Just make sure the first few waves are safe for Drow, because you don't.
He's going
really
to do the same thing though on the bottom lane as he's running into the tower range.
It's awkward as well because you use the Drow sitting here, it's like I can't attack him. It just helps him even further.
Yeah.
So he at least gets up to 3. He didn't want to test his luck because he didn't know where the Bane was. And Solo's actually wrapping around. The problem is he can't take the rune as he did take Brains out level 1 as you expect.
I mean, he can still try to right-click it. Let's see who's faster.
Oh, he actually
Solo
gets
is.
it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the argument on both sides, right? Because you want Fade Bolt, you also want Brain Sap.
Yeah, 2 bounty runes taken by VP, 2 taken by FP.
Not a lot of P in this game. PandaS. But yeah, things will chill out. 3 stacks on Moon in the meantime, but this is where Save just, Solo rather just starts to stack them up for him a little bit. Because this is the frustration. When you're a Bane against a Centaur, you want to harass him, you want to get him out of the lane, but you're just benefiting him more. Out of the top. Nice toss back into the stun. Aoi needs to decay onto 2, but he won't get the opportunity. He actually misses both of them. He might go down for this as well. Save has those boots to chase across. Envy's just ignoring and farming for the time being.
Got him.
And Rezo gets that first blood.
Perfect start for Resolution as AUY. He misses that decay, which is... Like, sometimes you greed out. You try to catch both of them with decay. If he did catch them, he definitely lives, as he'd have way too much strength for them to deal with. But he does miss, and that's very, very, very unfortunate as he dies instead.
It would have been very hard for him to live if he doesn't hit both. That's the problem with that. He's so far out at that point. And you know Envy's not going to help you. He has level Time Walk at level 1. He's not going to bash. There's no chance to save him.
I thought you were bashing Envy there, saying like, he's not going to help you. He's not that kind of a teammate. But yeah, he just didn't have that.
Different kind of bash.
Yeah.
However, Aoi, they could do it again. Toss.
Good.
Stun.
It's still level 1
it.
though. If Rezo is level 2 there and he has Diabolic Edict, then I think they can even go for that kill. As Undying is one... I think Clash is one of the rarest heroes for Undying to face because he has to run away from him. Like,
yeah, you can't... You get
it,
kited perfectly, right? Because that movement speed as well.
Yeah.
Even with an Orb of Venom, it's like, well, you have to hit him first, so good luck with that.
Everyone is pretty low on the side of Dire. Like,
they are. They're getting tickled a lot. And Moon might go down here as the Frost Tower has been leveled. Stomp, lift. They actually stack their stuns in a little bit of panic. Solo, however, has taken too much damage and will go down. Snaking lives as well.
Yeah, you can't really retaliate. He's popped by Centaur and he just destroys Solo in a matter of seconds.
Mid lane's looking okay, though, for VP. Classic DK experience. Not going to really interrupt his CSing that much. Brawl is falling behind a little.
We'll most likely see like a Bracer or 2 on the Dragonite, perhaps a Soul Ring, and then he's just unkillable. Just continues to... Oh,
Moon?
Bottom lane though, Moon, man.
Has he got him solo? Needs the final hit, and it'll be enough to get the kill.
Oh, that's so good for the Bane. He gets a level there.
Feels pretty cheeky about it. A kill maybe that you wouldn't expect to happen. Snaking had already used the salve for himself was the problem, though. Meanwhile, Tiny is going to go suicide to the tier 2. No one's there to get the XP as Save does die, and he waited long enough as well.
Yeah, he needed some mana.
It's good as well, because like, if you're in an Undying matchup and he can't get a kill or get that XP, he feels like he just loses, right? That this hero is so hungry for early gains.
He definitely needs early gains. He doesn't need kills, though. Like, it's not really about kills when you're Undying, as long as you're helping your safe laner farm. And so far, he has accomplished that. Void is farming pretty freely on that top lane, but so is Lash. They haven't really zoned out Rezo quite a lot.
Well, look at the regen battle as well. Rez is a lot better off. 2 tangos left on Envy, 4 in his health. Yeah, they just messing with him so much in this lane.
Because Rezo is ranged and he also got that first blood, so he was able to get some extra regen too. Definitely a good spot for that Leshrac to be in.
This is a bit awkward.
They can't do anything to him. They can chase him down, but
Oh, he's going to turn around if Ali's not careful.
AOY, he might fall here.
Yep. Avalanche into the toss. They got the stun, and they got the kill.
That's such a cookie cutter.
Cookie cutter, yeah. Cookie cutter is a very different thing, Liz.
Cookie cutter combo. Like, these two heroes have been played for such a long time together. The toss into the stun with Diabolic Edict deals with, I don't know, any single
It's
hero.
like Lina, Tiny, and Leshrac. You can fit them into any combo, right? Because they have stun, they have repositioning
It's just
tools.
the Tiny. It's just the Tiny that's able to be so far away from his ally and still set up the kill because of the toss. It has insane range.
Oh. Well, he got deep under the tower. Snake King did have the damage with the Fade Bolt, though.
Yeah, they tried to go on Centaur. He popped Retaliate, and suddenly you're being hit for 200 damage 4 minutes in.
It tends to escalate quickly, that's for sure. And Solo's running out of regen, but it's the same for Snake King. The problem is one has a Bassi and one doesn't. And while I'm talking about that, Undying goes down again at the top. Save does die in return.
Yeah, that's a good kill for Envy at least. He needed to get a little bit out of that. As
He needs a shrine.
Yeah, he's been bullied quite a lot. He will get that shrine. It's respawning, but he has to be careful not to go for the bounty.
No, Rezo even sticks early. That was an interesting split up coming out.
Yeah. And because of that, Envy is completely safe to take that bounty rune. I was like, why does Rezo stand there? Why not save it for the moment the bounty rune spawns?
It's like he's being too paranoid about bash jumps,
yeah,
right?
definitely. That's the only reason he's paranoid about bashes.
Sometimes you trap yourself like that. You're such a speedy hero, but you're so squishy. It's like the Cole logic, right? Like, I could take a hit or two, but do I risk it? He wasn't
Risk
willing to
it
risk
for
it
the chocolate biscuit.
No chocolate biscuit this time. In fact, no beautiful bounty either. No one in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Brawl is actually even it up because he's been farming and supplementing his creeps in the jungle. They need to actually force Brawl away from the mid tower so they can actually start getting some damage in is the problem. But there's no pressure. There might be now, though. 3 heroes top. Time walk away. Rezo's chasing. Stun does land. Save will be able to follow up the Avalanche and Toss combo. The time dilation goes out, but no time walk for 10 seconds. And it looks like Envy should be going down. They're trying to give the kill across. And they should set it up for Rezo. Nope.
Yeah,
Bane's like, I'm not sharing this.
It's not about not sharing it. They were
Time
just
walk
afraid.
time, right?
Yeah, they weren't certain about the time walk timings, and because of that, they didn't want to give it to Rezo.
Envy forced them into that scenario as well because that time dilation. Never underestimate that spell. Can mess people up pretty hard. And now we're doing that typical shuffle as he goes to the mid lane. He shouldn't really stop DK from beginning to push though. And look at this. Rezo's coming in. He'll jump in. There's one stun, and there's the follow-up, and MV level 4.
See, maybe
no more. Maybe he gets away with the time warp, but they can chase him. Time dilation will slow Rezo down enough, though.
Yeah, but this is so much time wasted for him.
Meanwhile, in the jungle, Brow's been found by both the supports. He's trying to find Solo. LSA is going to come out. He's being clubbed into by Tiny, and the Fairy Fire as well. He'll get one, but he might give his life save.
I
No!
don't think so he's fine.
He's too fast.
Yeah, he's too fast there. He gets a good kill there and goes back, but the biggest issue for Flying PandaS right now is the fact that Void isn't really farming. He's been completely out of CS for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, you can see him drastically falling behind. Like Rezo, yeah, his CS isn't impressive, but his kill record is 3-0-1 already. And that's why he can afford to have missed all those creeps.
And he's an offlaner. It's not really the same situation. Meanwhile, Drow Ranger is completely left alone on that top lane, and that's because of the way that her teammates are playing. The fact that Tiny and Bane found that Lina in the dire jungle isn't really about killing the Lina. It's about preventing anyone from going from the dire jungle onto the Drow.
Absolutely. And then the other thing is, you know, you look across a Drow. Drow has 6 now. So no matter how rough you say the start of the lane was, like in reality, he died once. This is perfectly fine. Like Drow's not really renowned for having amazing kill lanes at the start of games.
Start, definitely. Yes. There are some heroes that are good with her, but when you're playing versus Centaur and Rubik, there's only so much that you can do. Lesh might fall
Stampede. Looks like he will go down. Save is trying to find a way to make this work, but he can't.
Not even Laguna used there by Bryle. And they take the kill streak away from Rezo.
Aoi though. He's been found in the river. No one's moving across now. He does have the Dragon Tail. He's saying, please help me. Bryle doesn't know who he is though.
Yeah, he actually lifted his hands to say hi to Lina on the high ground.
She didn't even look.
Yeah.
Very snobbish approach to the movement of Lina. She's like, I can float. I don't need a teammate.
He was actually thinking about dropping the tombstone on the high ground, which then perhaps decayed them, but there's way too much control coming from these two, and he's unable to actually cast anything before he dies.
No one still has the Elder Dragon form. He wants to get rid of this tower. Like, if you can get rid of this before the 10-minute mark, you feel so good as a mid-tempo carry.
Yeah, pretty much that's the reason why we see so many heroes converging around that mid lane.
Usually around the catapults, right?
It's around the catapult, it's around the Dragonite swarm. You don't have to take the tower from one form, but from...
Lift, stun, save. Throws out the avalanche, though, so they can't get him.
Where's the zap, Braille?
No, he's like, nah, it's a tiny dude. It's level 1 in fairness, and he didn't have much mana left.
It's level 1, but he's really conservative with it. I haven't seen it yet. And Snaking,
He stood up because of it.
he's the
He
one
wants
that
top.
falls.
Moon, this is not the play. This is really not the play. The stun is not dodged, and his life is forfeit.
There we go. That's the tip. A very friendly tip, though, from Safe
Yeah.
Rezo.
It's just the grand
Congratulating
right
his
here.
teammate, yeah.
Which
Rubik,
horse is
however,
better?
Rubik might need a tip here too very soon.
Yeah, not as much a horse as a goat. On the back, Snaking's found, toss back. No one with the Dragon Tail follow-up. They'll burn him down. The TPs
There
are
is
way
a
too late. They got the chrono, but you'll have to sell for solo if you can even get him, actually.
Maybe you can get the Dragonite as Lina
No, he
has stunned
TPs.
him, but he TPs and he's fine. Solo, meanwhile, will fall in the end.
Worth it.
But, I mean, that chrono, I'm happy Envy used it, because they defend the tower with it.
But you forfeit the bounty runes at the bot as well, because you bring everyone from your team up here.
Yeah, that's true. Brawl did get one on the top lane.
Yeah, so 3 for 1. I think that's the problem, right? The first chrono, you're like, okay, I can throw it on any target, but in credit to Solo here, who is now Fiend's gripping mid, he spent a lot of time doing so, as he will with his ultimate as well. As they move in, they got the Dragon Tail, they miss the split off though, and they give it over to Rubik. That's not a good sign.
It's unfortunate.
Stampede, jumping in, Nightmare, Solo should buy enough time to move away from the moment. LSA is off the mark, can they first hit Bash? Time dilation will slow him down, but they're spending a lot of time. Solo, this is the second time in a row that this has happened.
Yeah, but maybe they can turn here now.
Rezo, he will indeed turn around. They've already used the Stampede to try and get in. Now they have no way to get out. They're going to be overran. LSA isn't available as Brawl is already dead, and Aoi will be found on the side. And there might be more Aois for Envy. He's going to move in. No TP for 3 seconds. They won't actually rush him, though.
Why is he not moving?
This is the second time. Last time it was a flex skill. Split off. It's going to get him.
Why
No!
is he not moving?
Oh, no! Oh, no!
Can someone... Alright, I'll tell you why he wasn't moving. He time walked into the base, and then he stood in that sweet spot in which no towers are attacking him.
And he was in the Zen state.
Yeah, and he was meditating. He was channeling his inner Naruto, or I don't know what he watches. Some anime, insert random anime there. But while he was channeling that, he didn't understand the fact that Leshrac is actually coming up to him. And then when he time walked, he didn't gain enough distance to TP away before that stun came.
Maybe
he should have just ran through the towers and then time walk, and that's it. He'd be fine. He'd be completely alright. There's no way he could have even managed it so that only one tower attacks him, but no, that didn't happen. Envy falls, and that whole fight was a disaster from the get-go. And by the way, we're just bashing Envy a little bit here, but all of that whole fight wasn't really particularly good. They dive under tier 1, under tier 2 to get the Bane kill. Yeah. And then they lose, what, 4 heroes?
Well, you're surrounded, right? There's a tier 1 mid, there's a shrine, you know what's coming.
It was so deep, and they wasted the Stampede. I understand why. Grip was used before. There wasn't really a lot Virtus.pro could fire from.
Oh, there's another Stampede moving in. Solo again. Every time just for this kill in the Bane. Envy's TP will be successful now this time, but he runs into a little bit of a mess. Can they get the Rezo kill? The Chrono's going to come out. Envy dying way too fast. Has to use the shrine. LSA will control Rezo to clear him up.
This is much better, even though that Stampede was used only to kill off Bane. On the left side, Envy gets a very good pick-off as he takes that Chrono, uses it on the edge, catches Leshrac, who didn't really have a lot of mana, so that Pulse Nova wasn't able to really mess with Envy killing him. This is much better, and they needed this.
Yeah, it looks like Liz, maybe he just went and he saw someone. He talked to someone. He realized he had PTSD, post-traumatic stress Dota. That was what was happening in the base. In the Radiant base, he was having flashbacks of last game. But they got it in order. They sat down, they had a chat with him. And Chrono delivers this time.
Much better chrono. It is though minute 14 and he's just about to finish Midas. Perhaps
This didn't stop him last time though.
it didn't. That Midas still made him very powerful after a couple of team fights.
Maybe the slow Midas timing is humbling him, right? He's not making these cocky plays. He's being more reserved.
Let's
That's
see
paying
if
off.
they
And
can slow
Brawl,
down Brawl.
he's trying to be reserved here, but the Avalanche is there. There's enough stuns to kill this Lina off.
Yeah, Lina, even though she carries like a big gun and that Laguna Blade can destroy you, she can also right Q to that. She is very strong, but at the same time, she's very squishy. And if you get on top of her, she's dead. And that's what's happening in this game so far. He really did not have the best game.
And VP, they were pushing up top. They're actually going to leave the Drow here, who can attack
About
while
mid lane,
in the
Envy is
tower.
being attacked.
Stun's coming out. They have the Fiend's Grip as well. They've already bailed. Envy's there alone.
He just got that Midas too, and that's one massive Midas in the inventory of Eternal Envy.
Definitely not a good start to the
He did
efficiency
finish
numbers.
it though, at least he did finish it, so he didn't lose the gold necessary to buy it, which is the silver lining for
No, but they're
flying pandas.
just going to go back to what they were doing before. They take the tier 2 top. They might even pressure a little bit onto the mid, but there's already a smoke rotation. They're probably anticipating this is on the high ground. No one is nearby as well. Jump in, stomps out. Always targeting the Bane. They have to blow the Laguna just to get the kill. They have the Stampede, but they're not willing to use it just yet.
Maybe
Yules.
they can now though.
Save. Nice Avalanche. Stops the combo. And they can't chase this any further.
Very unfortunate, but Void just respawned. He moves top to use that Midas to outpush instead of porting and helping the teammates, but I think this is the right decision by him, as he's able to get a little bit more.
Rezo? No, he's not going to go for it. They had a ward deep, so they saw him TP the shrine, but he managed to get his hands on the second rune there, so...
A hero that they managed to understand where he is this Drow, and he has no TP.
Yeah, but how do you get him? Gust. And the TP's coming in now.
Hold
Solo's
up.
already here. This could backfire very quickly. Brawl is nearby. They're converging, but so's the Tiny. There's the Yules. Jump in. Tosses him across in the Avalanche combo. No stomp. And now Brawl, he's in trouble. Needs to get the stun out in time. The Gust comes out a little bit too late. And now Epileptic Kid's going to be overwhelmed. Stacked on top of him. Trying to body block him to make sure he can't get out. They're trying to get rid of the tombstone. No, the Chrono again. They'll at least enable the kill into Drow. But now there might be a turnaround opportunity. No one is here.
That was the zoning chrono.
And it was a good one this time. Stun out into MB, but he's way too tanky to bring down. He'll be able to time walk away. The Nightmare goes out into Aoi.
Maybe they can take down at least the Undying, who's left behind.
Now, they did also get Brawl in fairness. And the Chrono was expended again for this kill. However, Undying is definitely wasting a lot of their time. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, if they get Rezo, it's definitely worth. He's out of mana as well. He's got a small wand to work with. He can maybe get one stun out, but if you miss it, Snaking then has your stun to work with.
I don't think they got the skill. Shine is
He's
way
too
too
speedy.
close. He's way too fast as well. Chrono was an awkward one, but it did prevent Drow from running into the tower.
It was night as well. They couldn't see behind as well.
He was also trying to use that Chrono in a way in which it only connects on the Drow, but not on his teammates. So
Yes.
it was a little bit difficult. It's not like he just whiffed the Chrono. He could have connected it on the Drow perfectly well for himself to hit her, but he was trying a little bit of a harder play, which looked a bit silly in the end.
Yeah, it's also, we have God Vision, right? But this is nighttime. He's doing it in the manner of, I don't know what's behind this Drow. There might be a save, and I could catch it. Stomp. Bane. A little bit of Nightmare shift around. Tombstone. It looks like Bane will go down this time. There's no way you get your hands on that Tombstone, but they get damage on mid.
Yeah, that Tombstone has been expanded, which is quite big for VP. You want to have that Undying without Tombstone for as long as possible, so you can perhaps take a fight somewhere else.
Solo definitely understands these type of heroes well, right? The fives that can just
He's one
look
of
like
the
they're feeding, but they're not. They're actually
Exactly.
wasting your opponent's time.
He's one of the fives that does understand that sometimes a sacrifice is necessary. There are some fives like that just run in and they die for no reason, but Solo usually eats a gank. And eating a gank is a good play if you're a five.
And he's setting up on the mid now. Nightmare's there. He needs to make sure he's at range. Look at this movement. So he doesn't get Fiend's Grip over. Because they might need it at this rate. They're going to chase in. Lift's coming out pretty early. No Rubik's here now. Centaur needs to escape the Avalanche toss. He finds the second kill.
Snake.
Save this whole series so far.
That's tunnel
Looking
vision
hot.
right there. If you're Rubik in that situation, it's a little bit of tunnel visioning.
You want the Fiend's Grip.
He wants the Fiend's Grip. He's expecting it, and because of that, it gives Tiny enough time to grab from behind, catch that Rubik out of position, toss him in, and you just saw what happens. Centaur dies, Rubik dies, and now Roshan might fall too.
And credit the save, you know, he knows how to play Rubik. He understands that tunnel vision can occur when you see a big ultimate on the line. And the blink works out pretty well for Tiny. and enables them to get their hands on this Aegis. And of course, they will give it to the one person who seems to be able to die for them at the moment, which is the Drow.
That's the Drow that's building into a Pike, it seems. Has already a Dragon Lance.
And the Dragon himself already has that BKB online. Didn't go for a Radiance this game. I wonder if he'll go back for it.
Pike is actually completed too. It's on Drodo is back, the courier of theirs. It's flying towards the Drow.
Fly, little Drodo, fly. Do you think DK, is it worth going back for the Radiance on no one? Now that he has the BKB?
I think a blink would be more than necessary for them, more than perfect.
I guess it pivots into the Drow being your damage, right?
Yeah, like that blink will allow you to jump on top of Void or Lina, blow them up. Even Rubik is a good pick off.
Blink in, BKB from no one. Oh, Moon. He's got the Stampede. The silence comes out a little bit too late, but the damage is already done. Look at the damage out from Drow.
You don't need, I guess you don't need the blink if they will blink into you.
This is true.
But my question as well is, who was supposed to do the damage there if he jumps on DK?
I'm trying to figure, like, the tower's not even particularly low. It's not like he jumps in, stomps, and hits the tower, right?
No, he jumped for the DK. He
did
did force him to expend one charge of BKB, I guess, but bottom lane, Lesh will expend his life.
Well, he'll extinguish Undyne's life, that's for sure. And they can push in here. They might head for the tier 2. They have to be careful because the Chrono is available, although we've seen what happens when Envy tries to particularly Chrono the Shrax. You definitely have enough time with your Rezo to press R. He tries to guess. Save's on the way, so Envy just needs to get the hell out. He's got the TP, but he's holding on.
No one is actually going for a different build. It seems that it's not going to be the Blink, but the Maelstrom. Maelstrom allows you to farm a bit more. Also, you have Drow in your team, so as a Dragon Knight, you can really hit hard. That's my justification behind it. I still think that Blink would be really good for them, but they don't have any problems initiating or finding pick-offs, so...
It's a good read on PandaS lineup as well, right? Like, there's not going to be many BKBs anytime soon. You know Void's going for one, but you've seen what Envy does on his Voids especially. He always tends to go for this Midas Maelstrom, which gives you this huge window to just punish. Definitely with the Drow Aura. Speaking of which, Drow, yeah, it's going to be the BKB as expected next. Getting relatively close. Moon is going for the tower again. They might not be in a position to punish it this time around, but the Glyph's coming out. Moon, you need to leave right now. Rezo, chasing in a little bit too late. And if I keep clicking in, they might not see me. The Stampede will get them away.
Yeah, just turn away. Bury your hand.
Don't come back. Snaking. He actually got the steal. They need to be careful because he might die on the side. They see a bigger target though. Envy. Void's caught too far forward. The Gust makes sure he can't escape.
Yeah, that's AoE silence and Envy is dead. Like, Envy, what was that? You move him from behind and what? Your Lina is on the top lane anyway. You can't fight.
I mean, it looked like they were... I don't know if this is miscommunication, because Snaking, you know why he's turning around. Like, getting split off is great, right? But it's like the posturing is maybe deceitful and Envy... Someone should be making that call. It's either a definitive back or a definitive...
from save to take down the Rubik on the bottom lane, throws him into the Gust, and that splitter that was stolen is given back to where it belongs.
Return to sender, and now VP. They're going to migrate to the Dire base. They like the look of this side of the map.
They are making this game look so easy now in this 2-game series. They're going for the Raxes as well.
You know, they're definitely starting to clean up some of the issues they had in the qualifier where, you know, they were maybe a little bit too loose. They've started to pull it in. And it looks like Epileptic Kid is starting to fit in the team a bit more.
Envy does have that smoke on himself, and Lina will use the travels to go back into the base, but...
You need one hell of a Chrono.
They need one hell of a Chrono, and possibly not on Bane.
Solo tanks the gank again, but the Gust is coming out. He's going to turn around on Envy right now, but the toss across into the Avalanche combo to set up. There's no split off just yet. Lift, snaking interrupts the Shrek, but the Fiend's Grip is out. Envy's going to go down.
No buyback.
There's no buyback to work with. This could be it. Split off's going to come through as well. Centaur slowed down a little bit. The Gust follow up as well. The pings are trying to keep him alive. The Soul Rip stun comes out. Brow going to be slowed down. Does back away in time. They're going to go back to hit the build. Stampede, jump in. Nightmare trying to dodge out. Will still die though. Buyback out from Bane and the Tiny looking to get involved. Nice stun split off coming out to Rezo, but the silence is there. Brown needs to escape from this. The slows are a lot. Nice stun follow-up will allow him to get the kill to Lina. Now Snaking next in the hit list. Buyback comes out from Lina. Still 20 seconds out the Void. Jump in, Moon. Nicely done. Slows him down a little bit. Needs to back up. Drow getting pretty low, but still has the Aegis to work with.
They just cut through them. They're still the Aegis. They're moving back towards the ranged Drax on the top lane. Lina has bought back.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, well, I believe Flying Pandas are done, but...
They got one Chrono.
Yeah, maybe they just don't know it yet. There's a tier 2 on the bottom lane, which will allow them to live a little bit longer as Virtus.pro moves back.
We see Envy trying to cut them off.
Aegis has been reclaimed. Envy is trying to cut him off, but so far he's just been able to cut his life
They're pinging him. They see him right now. Save jumps in. He looks the wrong way. Envy can't afford a Chrono on one. He jumps in. Looks for no Chrono. Actually, only the Drow. Rezo can't reach and reinforce, but Drow is so damn tanky now. And look at the Bro. He's in trouble. No one with the BKB chasing through. The Suns comes out on Envy now. The Yules used defensively to try and escape, but Brawl is already done and dusted. They find the kill in the void, and it looks like the GG is tapping out.
Of course you're gonna tap out. You just got crushed. This was a very difficult game to watch, even if you're a Flying Panda spectator, Flying Pandas fan.
It was pretty grim.
It looked so simple for Virtus.pro, the way they played. Everything looked